So team, welcome back. Day 9 for our AnyAUT certified tester training. So yesterday we were taking a look at how the AnyAUT Excel is built and what we can do with it in a simple fashion. Today team, we're going to talk about automation frameworks. And please do note there are two types of understanding them. Knowing what they are, using and then building. You could be one of those three categories, team. So as you go along, you would understand how to build them. But today, hopefully, we'll see what they mean, what they are all about. Before I do that, team, just want to talk about once again about JPACT so that you all have an idea. So JPACT is an overall program, job placement and certified training. So we're trying to put you into the job market. Now in this, the most important thing is QA automation. There are a lot of things from a manual testing that can be optional. I'm not taking you in a rigorous journey on manual testing, but QA automation, they're mandatory skills. In the way we approach team, I will use jargons and some keywords or phrases. I want you to just take notes when watching or attending for the first time. Okay. Okay, sorry. And then I'm talking about how we go about it. You're going to repeat the training. There is no question about it. All of you will have to repeat it at least 2 times. And now practice along. So this is a 2 to 3 months journey for a fresher, and we are in the beginning days. So unlike other institutes, I'm not teaching you what is manual testing, how we do it in a core way. I'm introducing you to a lot of concepts. Keep going back to these videos, keep looking at these notes as to what we are saying overall. What is important for us is to learn one tool, one concept at a time. And let me go down to where we are. And we will, in the classes, we will keep repeating the same. Now for us, the schedule is simple, team. Right now we're doing some basic AnyAUT with Selenium IDE. That's all we're learning. Then we're going to get into core Java. Then Selenium, WebDriver, frameworks, CI/CD. Okay. Now manual testing, as specifically, is all that we're doing through this process. Okay. Uma, can you hear me, or you still cannot? Please check at your end. Anyone else having the issue? I'm not sure if you can hear my response too. Okay. Now all this said and done, let's get back to where we were. So I think all our focus has been around. Sure, I got a Mr. Sure, Christabel, you can call me after the class. Actually, after the class, I have one more class with the Python. So I'll look into it. Let me see. Where was I, team? Let me get back to the session for once. Let's focus on progressing this a bit. We were running AnyAUT Excel runner, and this is what was important for us. So we were trying to do LinkedIn _ demo. Let's take a look again at this Excel sheet, team. These points from yesterday, very critical. AnyAUT Excel primarily contains these following sheets. So that entire Excel file has many sheets into it. And we are talking about what does each sheet contain. The first sheet, application and a test, details about what the application is. Nothing much into it. Modules, very important. It lists down all the modules with a unique identification to each of them. Test steps, test cases, very critical. Within test steps is where a core of things is there, team. Okay. And we have concepts of these that we are still getting into. A lot has to be done. All that we have done, let us see what we have done. We said here's our application, linkedin.com. We're saying module 1, user admin. And in that I have one test case called incorrect login. What is the name of the test case? TC01-login incorrect. So for that test case, I have a few steps. These two don't belong to this test case. Can you all tell me a reason why does this step number 7 and 8 do not belong to login incorrect? Why do they not belong to it? Yes, it has an underscore no here, but even then the first few things are the same, right? It has to be the exact same match team. In manual testing or automation testing or anything, we're always looking at exact same things. Sometimes we put our human judgment to place into manual testing, but when it comes to automation testing, you cannot. So for a computer, for a system, for a script or an automation script like or tool like Selenium, or even AnyAUT, which is built on Selenium, we are saying that this is not the same as this. In fact, if I write login incorrect with a lowercase somewhere, it will still have a different impact. I want everything to be exact, and that is when we know that what things are correct in what we're doing. So I have only 6 steps. Team. Open the browser, navigate the browser. Then we're saying link text, click link and link text. And this is where I think we were failing. It did not go beyond. So what is it that we are doing? Let's take a look at it. Very important. Number 1, our automation tool is AnyAUT. Once you download it and install it, you will see this folders. You are going to double click and say execute. So at this point, you can choose what automation test you want to execute. The demo.xls, which was built on a different application like Sony's car control, will go through that app and talk about how the login is happening, every details to it. And give us the results. And what we see also is the golden island. So team, please understand why I'm repeating the same concept so far. Most of your job when you go into QA is revolving around these aspects of how these tests are getting executed on your project and what is happening with them and so on. I'm showing you methods to do it. There's Selenium ID and then there's our application that we're using to do and so on. So this test is now happening and the results of the same will be keep coming to us. To execute something different on a different application, I had to go about changing certain information. And in here I said open browser. Okay, in this time I'm opening Chrome. We go to linkedin.com and we're clicking on link sign in. And I think this failed last time, team. Not sure why this failed, but I think this failed. One time use sign in, click link. Click link. What is the source code for it? Was I looking at it yesterday? Link. Okay, there's my function. Dot click. element dot type dot element locator. Yeah, so it is linked text. Is linked text supposed to be uppercase T? Make sure. Linked text. One second. I replaced all of this actually with one second. See, what I'm doing is looking at the source. And team, none of this is something that you're going to look at or master immediately. All of this, it'll take us a couple of months to get to. Click link, place back, click element, click element, then is element type element. And here it's in text. So this is actually not incorrect. I'll walk you through it. I'll explain everything. I'm just correcting one so it all works correctly. And we'll tell you what exactly is happening in the background. Click element. One time use element by link text. I don't know if it will work, but that's my effort to try. So now let us understand one thing. You prepare an Excel sheet. Team, it will take us 2-3 days for you to master what we're trying to do here. So please be patient and focus onto this. I prepare my information in it, and then I feed it into my framework to execute. My Excel goes as an input. So my application and test not relevant, but documentation. Module, if I say no to everything, nothing will get executed. So you have to say which module you want to execute or which modules. Then comes a test case team. A test case says that in a module, I can have many test cases. Choose which test case you want to execute. The part of test data, I'm going to come to you shortly, and we will discuss on the framework aspect of it also. But the fact that one test case is selected right now. For that test case, I have these steps. How do these steps work, and how can we get into the depth of it? We're going to take a little time around it, not immediately jumping into it. But most importantly, what did I want to say? I'm sorry. I'm going one test case at a time. So nothing to be confused, only one test case. Open browser, go to the application, sign in, enter username, password, click on login button. So till this one, even this click button is in fact now replaced with click element. That's all we do. What are these detailed information in yellow? We have yet to come. Some of it we will be covering towards today as part of our framework. Okay? But let us get one test case going. All that I gave is element identification that we saw in the last class. And test data is here. So this is junk username means something I'm giving. This is password and user. So it's gonna try to type this. That is the intent. Now to get this executed, let's close this. Go to our installation, launch AnyAUT. Observe everything that I'm saying, team. You're gonna be repeating the same things over and over again. Demo_Excel or wherever you can, but you will continue to replicate these things. So I'm taking LinkedIn_demo.xls and execute. Let us hope that it will start an execution. Open the browser, maximize it, then go to the application, and then try and go to the sign-in process. Let us see what we can do. If any issue happens in the meanwhile, it will definitely let us know. So now we're trying to type on the email or phone. It definitely clicked on the sign-in team, which is a good sign for us, which is good. So it has moved on from the previous step. See how I'm slowly getting into debugging. Debugging my AXL test cases. Something is not working and we need to figure that out. What happened? Did the framework close? Yes, see, that logo is gone, application is closed. So it finished its execution. Said, I tried to do whatever I wanted, put, and it came up. Now let's see the results. I think 621. What? No errors. So click on sign in. Okay. Enter username. It said it entered username. Did you see it, team? I did not observe that. Did anyone observe if it was entering username and password? Now, look at this beauty of this thing, team. The same process, if I need to, let's try and re-execute and see. It says there's no error at all, but I did not see it doing it. So look at what I'm trying to say is if I have to repeat the same process, manually, it will take me the same effort. But if it's an automation, just a couple of clicks away to do the same things, nothing much changing, because I've pre-programmed as to how and this thing is going to execute. So let's see. And our ability to debug on this will slowly build. Once you learn AnyAUT Excel or Selenium ID, WebDriver, all of these things are very, very interlinked. So in navigating, clicking on sign in, enter email or phone, please. It did not. So it's typically waiting for the 10 seconds default timeout that we gave. So it is failing here. But what I'm surprised is why is it not? Oh, it did. There you go. But why did it close after that? Because my test finished. So that's good. I got to a certain extent with it. Did you notice, everyone? So it did. It waited for a couple of seconds. I did not put a wait. Maybe the application was. Now, after clicking on the login button, I want to verify that the error message came. So how do I verify that the error message came? I'm going to replicate the same. Are you all with me? See how much time we're spending on the same test case. We're not going to move forward to something else yet. Let's spend one after the other slowly. So here I'm saying some junk and another junk. This is sign in. Now I want enter a valid username. Is that fair enough? I want to see this message. That is my verification. And then I want to close the browser. So right click and say inspect. You saw the same thing how we can do in Selenium ID. We'll try and replicate the same. Now, when I right clicked on it, I got the entire HTML. Like I always mentioned, copy the HTML. Copy the outer HTML and put that into a new thing. So I have error for and all that. My interest is always ID, name to begin with. I have an ID called error for username. Okay, so now see what I will do to you. Very smartly, since I've learned something yesterday a little bit, I'll go here, verify text. How do I know the keyword is verify text? As of now, let me explain, and now you know. Just assume it. There are only a couple of dozen keywords that are important. Everything else we can keep referring here. Right now, I'm referring to the code because this documentation was complete, but otherwise it should not take too much of it. Now, XPath. So how do I write an XPath? See, did I show you how to write an XPath yesterday, team? Actually, no, right? So I'll just use ID for now. It is not rocket science, but I don't want to introduce something that is not yet there with the entire team. So we will go with the average speed of every one team and then close browser. See, now I'm going to say, hey, you know what? Same test case. They belong to the same close browser. So what did I do? I'm saying I want to see for a error message to come here. Think of your English like this for that test step, all of you. Okay. Here's my user story. I went to Chrome, went to linkedin.com, clicked on sign in. All this is manual testing team. There's nothing big automation or coding that we're doing. Simple manual uses. Clicked on sign in, entered an invalid username, invalid password, clicked on sign in. I want to see a message like this coming. So for me, it is not only important where that message is coming, it is also important what is that message. So if I inspect and I double click on it, I can copy this entire message. Always try and double click in the code and take it, because there could be spaces at the preceding and towards the end of it. You don't want to be missing. And put it and say, this is what I'm expecting to see. Now see. Keyword tells me what to do. All right. What is built-in keyword and user-defined keyword will come to. Element type, element ID, and all these three columns tells me where that is, so that I can go and do that action. So assume it like this, team. Always remember, okay? You are my friend. I'll tell you that, okay, Rahul, go to my car and get a file. Now, Rahul knows where my car is. He knows maybe what file I'm referring to, because we're well-connected humans. We have that communication between us, and he knows it. But now let us say there is a new person who comes in, like someone who's unknown, does not know. I have to say, what is my car? Where is my car? What is the license plate number and so on? How to unlock it? Which door is it in? What does the file look like? And then get it. Yes or no? That is because you are not enough equation of understanding with that human team. You're establishing it. This element type and element ID and so on will tell us where we should perform. We have to give very crystal clear instructions to any automation tool. So humans typically we say, why should I tell you that also? Can you not at least assume that that is basic, that's logical? You're stupid and a fool if you don't assume it. The same thing I cannot tell that to a Selenium or a tool, because they will only follow our instructions. Okay. So this is done, and test data is very simple as to where my test data is. Now, whatever I'm marking right now in these columns as maybe blue, think of these as the ones which tell me what are automation frameworks. These columns are actually the columns which will tell me, oh, so this is what automation frameworks are all about as a concept, and how we implement it without any coding knowledge. When we keep going to Java frameworks, we will learn to build it. So we come into these columns in blue. Oops, there's one row also. That's fine. Okay, where am I? Now let's run this team. So saved it and run. See, in terms of changing an application and what it should do, rather, how my test case should be done manually or automation wise is the same effort, documentation. But the time it takes to execute, maybe my computer is faster when it comes to one test case. If it increases its test cases, then there's significant output that we can expect. So now I'm going to enter username, password, click on sign in, verify that the text message comes, and then close the browser. Oops. And that's a complete test case, once in a life. And the same exact thing, team, for us to be able to do it on Selenium IDE is not a new rocket science. We could easily cover it. It's taking a couple of more seconds here. Not sure why, but it does complete the task. So it's done. For me to know what has happened actually on it, I will need to seal the results team. I don't see any screenshots, which basically means that everything went well. Now tell me everyone, I'm assuming 60–70% of this class are all freshers. You have no much knowledge into IT and programming. Now tell me, is it sufficient for me to say that, you know what, incorrect login does not happen? Perfect, everything's fine. You need to try and break this. You know what? I doubt it. I don't think this is correct. There must be something wrong with what I gave. I saw the results and it says that everything went fine. I'm not showing anything in detail about the results yet. Slowly, one day by one day, what are all of these fields in it will come. Basically, it says nothing in red, everything looks fast. So that's a good thing for us. Oopsie, so tiring day today, very tiring day. Now, how do I know if that's correct or not? A best way to test is, let's say, I'll say instead of please enter a valid username, please enter user's valid username. So I've changed the test data. So my actual and expected may be totally different now. Why? Because what I'm using to test it itself is different. And that shortcut to this somewhere. It'll take 10–15 more minutes today, team, for sure, because there's some good important concepts that we're going to get in. So assume, so look at it from the perspective of Selenium IDE also, team. You can do exactly the same thing. You have a command target value. Here, a few more columns to fill. I'm only assuming this page is loading something more. That's why it's taking a few more seconds. Or the click itself has a hard wait. Let's see. Did you see that red highlight, everyone? Did you notice it or not? On that message, for a very blink of an eye movement. On that error message. You know why it came? Because if it is correct, it will put in gold. If it is a problem, it will put it in red. Now let's look at our results. This was the result 3 minutes back that we did, and there was no failure in here. Everything was a pass. Remember? Right? Everything is a pass. So for this test case login incorrect, I have the following 8 steps. Each of the steps passed. Even if one step fails, my test case is considered a failure. That is how extent report says. And if you notice here, there are only 3 files in this case. Now let us observe the result that we got at 6:34. And team, this is what we do in a practical real life test execution. As we go about, it's not just about compiling and adding your skills or tools in coding, understanding the root things. So we're focusing very, very highly on this. Any difference between this results folder and the other one? Did you notice that there is a screenshots folder created? That in fact is an indication to me that, hey, you know what, something happened wrong. Why? Because AnyAUT as a tool will take a screenshot of the application at the time the issue occurs. So it went about all of this and only verify error message it had an issue. And it will show me the screenshot. And this is what it is. Now, did you notice, team, how it helps us to debug our functionality of the applications and to go back and to say, hey, you know what went right, what went wrong. Now, great. This is a simple one test case. Now, see what I'm going to do next with. Same application. What are the different test cases I have? Login incorrect is there, right? I'll put one more test case, team. Don't mind. My module name will be the same, but PC01 login incorrect. I will call this as 2. And ignore the one in orange right now. We will talk about this. We will come to it very soon. Once you master this team, believe me, learning automation is going to be a cakewalk for you. What are the only 2 test cases I have that are selected for execution? Login incorrect and login incorrect. Fair enough? Now, hey, you know what? I don't have login incorrect too. I have login incorrect. What do? It is almost the same. I'm going to copy the whole thing and paste it here. Maybe I'll change the color of it to something other than the other test case. And this is 2. Make sure the names are correct. So here I have a new test case altogether. Same test data, same everything, but in this case, my error message will be exact as expected. In this case, it is not correct. It was not expected. But I'm going to run both of them. Why? Because I want to make sure my test will handle this and that. Now I've created a new test case with it, which is doing a simple copy paste. All with me? Oh, I've got a couple of answers saying A is missing, enter a valid. Let me see, team. Thank you for reminding. Good eyes. I appreciate, always appreciate good eyes, team. Please enter a valid username, is it? That's what was the message. How do I know this here? Please enter a valid. That's a valid username. Thank you. Otherwise, we have to retest it. And one of the important skills that we will have to develop is patience towards how we can run and rerun and retest and so on. So let's wait for the new run to happen. Browser started. So now observe what will happen, team. Browser open, maximized, clicking on signing. I could have done these sessions even on day 1, team, but then I wanted to slowly build this up and get towards a point where it becomes serious that the core is here. All that programming and framework, whatever the world has been trying to confuse you with, don't fall for it. It's pretty easy, all of this. Just one step at a time, patience. I worked my hard way to learn it. I'll definitely remember the same. Okay, so one test case done. Now observe what's happening. It has gone to another test case. Close the browser, it reopened it, and it's going to perform the same things again. This time, what it is expecting as a test is different. So now, if my AnyAUT Excel is closed, that means my execution is done. So I can go back to my results folder. See, for example, the one 5 minutes back that we did, I had a report, correct? In that, I have one test case, and it tells me where it failed. That test case is a failure. And if you click on here, it gives you an overall dashboard. It tells you details about how many steps that you have. Total test is nothing but how many steps we executed. The total steps here is more of to do with internal logging, all that we do as execution to make it happen. But total test is what we're looking at. Now it took us 35 seconds and 417 milliseconds to execute this. And my pass percentage is 88%. Why? Because 1 in 8 failed. 1 step out of 7 steps failed. So if I have 1,000 steps and 100 step fails, my pass percentage is 90%. gives me a timestamp, start end, tells me an environment of who ran where, a simple pie chart. And this is done by extent reports team. So they've got these free versions that you can use and integrate. We have done a lot of coding level integration. That is why we are able to see all of this happening. How does AnyAUT read everything from the Excel? How does it launch the web browser, execute? How does it find all of this? Is what we slowly put it into the code. Now, this was the report from 5 minutes back. Let's look at the latest one. Now, that's the one at 6:39 and report. Now, if you notice, team, in my list here, there are 2 test cases. And all of you with me, please. Yeah, the one I showed you earlier was only 1 test case. Okay, so team, 2 test cases. The first one has 8 steps. So, see, and the second one also has 8 steps. If you notice, the first one failed because what we saw earlier, and we know also we have a screenshot. You can always refer to that. The second one, everything went fine. So see, out of 16 steps in total, 1 failed. So that is 1 out of 16. I think the pass percentage would be what? 94, something like that. Now, if you notice here, that's what it says, 16 tests. So each step is called a test team in an extent report format. It is pre-built, that is what it is. We cannot change it unless we want to build it. Oh, wow, that's not bad. It's actually around 94. I made a random guess. So as we add more tests, you will notice that this will keep growing. Now, just as a fun fact, if I can show you something. No, this is small. Very old. No, no. I'm seeing the size of this file, report.html. See, typically our report.html will be 40 kilobytes and so on. 100 kilobytes, 200 kilobytes, depending on how many tests are there, that HTML document. But for a very large application, this has gone to 12 megabytes. And that means that this has got some content. Now, this test took 2 hours and 16 minutes to execute, team. It had a total of 3,537 test steps, out of which 96% have passed and the others failed. It gives us a very detailed analysis as to what passed, what failed, where, how, and so on. So when we implement it for large customers, we're looking at such reports where it tells us much more depth, and we continuously fix things. So an AnyAUT certified tester primarily knows how to work well with this Excel sheet. Now, I will just give you an idea, okay, as to what we are trying to do about what are frameworks and what is this one-time use and reusable elements, and leave you for tomorrow's session. See, I have 1 test case here. I'll have 1 more test case here. In this, I will do something else. Observe what I'm doing. Just see how I'm playing around with it. All that I'm doing is playing around. We're going to keep repeating these concepts. We're going to go detailed. We're going to go very, very deep into it. So at any point, don't think, oops, something went over my head. We will take it. For practice, if you have downloaded, please repeat what I'm doing. That is the most critical aspect. you're able to get these things going, that's good. You'll get some good assignments now. Tomorrow I'm going to give you some assignments. Right now, let me do a test case 3. So I'll make a test case 3. Question quickly. Will it now run 3 test cases? Yes or no? I wrote 1 test case here. 2, 3. Will it run 3 test cases? Yes or no? In test stat sheet, I copied and pasted the test case, whatever is there. In here, I want to put one more defect, a different one. What is the defect I want to say? The type text that we're doing in username now, I'm saying this identification is username. I'll say my username. So I spoiled it. So it is identified. So now it can't identify, it can't type there. Will it run? Yes or no, team? Will it run 3 test cases when I run it after saving? No, it will not. Until you go to the test cases tab and add a row for the test case and say that, you know what, row I want to do it for this too. And only then would it choose to run. So you are the driver. You have to push the button. Only then will it run. Now notice what will happen. All this is fine. But see, the same username and password I'm repeating. I want to change it. They're saying username should not be in this format. It should be like. Now I have to copy paste these things in 3 different places. That is pathetic. I don't want to do this copy paste job in 3 different. So here I'll go. It's got a lot of things here. Just delete this one. And say username is ak123@blah.com. User password equals password, right? Now what I did is I parameterized it. So instead of saying hard coding it each time and saying I want to put username here, password here, username in here, password here, and saying it's one-time use, I'm gonna now say it's reusable. Is it reusable element or reusable? Let me make sure. Whenever I question, I'll go and look at the demo team. So there it will give me enough steps and everything to see how it's just reusable element. So that's the value. I'm going to call this as a reusable element. I will explain it to you tomorrow, team. The next session, what does this mean? All that means is, if I say it is reusable element and give the name to it here, it will pick the value from the test data sheet. So the test data sheet is gonna get us the values. I only have to say what is the name of that variable, and the program will do. If I only want to use it for one time, you can use it for one time. If I want to use it for multiple times, I want to use it for multiple. Why am I replicating same test steps? I'm not replicating same test steps. I'm creating different versions of the same. Think of it like this, team. Okay. Let's say I'm thinking of an example like cooking, or let's say I don't know how many of you played Fruit Ninja, the game on your smartphones, and there is the bomb that comes circled, and sometimes you're just waiting, a bomb is coming silently and going, but you must still try and play around it. So you're playing around, team. Sometimes you're just playing around, because if you don't play around as a tester, a user may accidentally play around and come with a defect, and then you are in an awkward position to say, how did I not find it before someone else found it? So for us to ensure that the application is correct, I will pass it through different type of tests. So let us say now iPhone comes up with, you know what, I came up with iPhone 12 or 13. And this is the best ever. This is waterproof, damage proof. What do you want to go do, team, with a dummy phone like the model? You're going to try and break it. You'll see, wow, is it really that good? That is what you're supposed to do as testers. Hence, I'm doing it. And the second reason actually I'm copy pasting is so that we can learn as of now, because we're not trying to complete. But this, I will save it as LinkedIn demo _demo_ data. I have parameterized data in this. I don't think it will work yet, and I don't have enough time. But let us execute and see. Now it is 3 tests, and my data is parameters. How? Not enough time today, tomorrow. Team, how many people am I losing? In the sense that not losing from the audience, but not with me. And please just be a little bit more patient. We are accumulating good skills. They're all going to come together. Okay. 3 test cases. And I have to observe why after clicking that element, it's taking time. See what I'm doing while the test is happening, I'm not even bothered about it because it's not automated, manual. It is totally automated. So that means I am at liberty to do whatever I want on the side, because I will go back and look at the test result at the end. So click element is just clicking. It's not doing any wait or anything. And in the next session, team, we will take it little bit more. Same things will pass. See, it did not. It was actually typing username and password. That is not correct. Did you observe, team? It's not supposed to type user uname and UPSWD. See what's typing now? It's supposed to type the value, right? And that is an error. Not in our framework, in our Excel sheet. We will go back tomorrow and take a look at that. Once we get this concept, after that, frameworks we'll understand, automation frameworks. Then it's easy to get into the coding aspects. Come on, go at it. I wanted to put some sound also, team, for every action or error, whenever it happens. There's some good Bond music. I don't know. Third one is not even doing anything. Okay. I'm sorry, did something that and closed. So I did not observe my test execution. But the good part for me is I have a result that I can go back to view. Screenshots folder is there. So, okay, there are errors. Report, let's see. Oh, wow, one test case passed. Let's see the first one. Pass. Verify error message. Yeah, that's supposed to fail. That's correct. Now, enter the username. What did it enter? I don't know what it entered. I have to come and look at and debug tomorrow. I saw the execution. Look at this. Look at what I'm saying very keenly, please. I've seen this execution, but I don't trust it yet. I am a QA analyst. I want to make sure everything is intact. That is my job. So I will go back and relook at what is happening. So we saw how to look at one test case, now 3 test cases. And this took 2 minutes, 24 steps, and so on. This will get interesting now. Sure, upload videos. The thing with videos is most of them are having to go on YouTube because of something wrong with that membership. Right? I will upload this video right away to you. Okay. What is the system you are using in executing the test? As I was expecting to say, Eclipse and Selenium IDE to run the test. Sorry, I'm new to the class. Sure. So I am using an application or an automation solution called AnyAUT. I personally worked on building this in the last, been building and deploying for the last 4 years. And this tool is built on Selenium and Java. So if someone knows Selenium, Java, what are automation frameworks, then you could be an AnyAUT certified tester or developer. And in this JPACT document, right from day one, if you go and keep coming down, we keep talking about this tool, and there's a link to download this version in your Excel runner. So let me put that in chat for all of you. So if you don't have that version, download it onto your machine. You'll see something very similar, and you should be hopefully able to run demo.excel. Then also, please, the Skype group, if you're part of it, a lot of new members are coming into this JPACT group. So join the Skype group for JPACT. That will help us to keep interacting with each other. And I know most of the videos are there. So for someone starting up, they have to go through. But watch it like a Netflix series, team. Don't try and pause and rewind. It's just too much. All right, everyone, that's it from my side. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye now. I'll see you back tomorrow. And we'll keep continuing the same direction. Next week, we're starting core Java and then little JUnit. Then we will go to Selenium WebDriver. Then automation frameworks. Excellent. Thank you, everyone. Bye now.